Sweet aroma fills a loving house. Genuine joy fills a nurturing family. Peace be with everyone. Welcome to Time Under the Eaves. May the sweet aroma be around you and all those whom you love.
Today, we will be sharing with everyone when expectations fail. Many people pursue a better life and a more beautiful hope with all their strength, but life is full of twists and turns. When we face the difficulties that life throws at us, we often have expectations, both for the people and the situation that we are in. However, there is only so much one can do. If we put our expectations solely on people, we may fall into a mire of loss and resentment. Therefore, when our expectations of people fail, how should we adjust? How do we shift our focus back to God? And how can we put our expectations back on God? Placing your expectations in people is vain. In the time when Jesus was on earth, the Lord and his disciples planned to stop in a village on their way through Samaria, but the people there did not receive them. When James and John, Jesus' disciples, saw this, they said, "Lord, do you want us to command fire to come down from heaven and consume them, just as Elijah did?" But he turned and rebuked them, and said, "You do not know what manner of spirit you are of. For the Son of Man did not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them." At this point in time, Jesus' disciples were filled with hatred and contempt, which was a stark contrast from the example that Jesus set. When our expectations of others are not met, it may result in mutual slander and disrespect, leading to broken relationships. Many tragedies are caused in this way, including divorce between a husband and a wife, a quarrel between siblings, discord between parents and children, and a rift between friends. Society is full of extremists, and when things don't go their way, such people may do many irrational things. For example, they may speak ill and even curse each other. However, others are not obligated to help us, and in the end, all we can do is hope. Oftentimes, it is inappropriate for us to assume that others must lend us a helping hand. Therefore, we should not blame or become angry with others when they do not meet our expectations. Have we ever, like John and James, professed to be faithful, but try to consume others with fire? Do we criticize, complain, or resent others when they do not meet our expectations? On the other hand, what does Jesus expect us to do? The Son of Man did not come to destroy men's lives, but to save them. This is what Jesus declared to his disciples, and it is also his expectation for us today, to treat others with love, patience, and tolerance. Wait on God obediently and receive hope. Paul recalled, "At my first offense, no one stood with me, but all forsook me." At that time, many believers feared that they would be implicated in the same crime as Paul, and thus avoided him and did not defend him. Especially in Asia, when Paul was arrested and tried, many believers dared not to publicly support him. These people did not live up to Paul's expectations of them. But Paul said, "May it not be charged against them." Paul fully accepted God's arrangement and had no regrets or hatred for those people. When our life is in a slump, in our times of need, our expectations for people may increase. When we are going through difficult days, we will have higher expectations for the people we love and trust the most. We expect them to understand us, sympathize with us, take our side, and support us through our darkest moments. This was what Paul expected, but against his expectations, many left him. These were the people who were closest to Paul, but the reality was that all forsook him. Did Paul have impossibly high expectations from these people? Perhaps not. Many things can affect whether our expectations would be met, and the results may not be as we had hoped. Life is full of unpredictable changes, so we must understand that and recognize the inevitable development of things. We might not feel so disappointed if we just lowered our expectations. We must remember that everyone changes, and most importantly, no one is obligated to meet our expectations, nor are they required to conform to our expectations. Even in such a situation, Paul was never alone. He testified, "But the Lord stood with me and strengthened me." When Paul was in the midst of loneliness, he knew that the Lord was right beside him and strengthening him. With this belief, Paul was able to persevere through the darkest moments of his life. When our expectations of others fail, God will fill this void left by others. We must have this faith in our Lord Jesus, that He is the same yesterday, today, and forever. He will not forsake those who belong to Him, especially when we encounter difficulties. God watches over us and takes care of us. He is faithful, and if we truly believe that He is omniscient, omnipotent, and all-wise, we can place all of our expectations on Him. God is our only solid and faithful hope. He will not forsake us when we come to Him. Thus, we will never be disappointed when we put our hopes in Him. According to the Bible, to live correctly is to be willing to dedicate your life to love and edify others. When our expectations of life fail, we should not blame God or attack others. During our darkest and most uncertain times, we can always rely on God's abidance and guidance. Others may change, others may leave, but God will never change nor forsake us. Just as He stood beside Paul to strengthen him, God will also stand with us to constantly strengthen and to lead us forward.
This concludes our sharing for mutual encouragement. If you like the content of this video, please share it with those around you. Thank you for watching. Hope to see you in our next video. May the peace of our Lord Jesus Christ be with all of you.